Former PO. We had to stand in the bathroom and watch as the offenders provided a urine sample. One time, a black male decided to use a Wizinator, plastic penis with a tube attached to a plastic bag full of clean urine. He didn't think that officers would be in the bathroom watching him, and unfortunately for him, he used a white Wizinator. Another time, an offender was told that he was being arrested. He panicked and decided to run through the window that was in his officer's cubicle. Probation officers of Reddit, what's the dumbest thing that you've seen an offender do? Had a client sentenced for transportation fraud, skipped out on cab fare. Guess how she got to her first appointment with me? Yep, took a cab to my office. I'm a case manager for offenders placed on probation to help get their crap together. Not my client, but I know one who narrowly passed his diversion program instead of going to prison, only to go to the probation lobby and watch a rap video of himself, waving pistols around with a sheriff behind him watching it. I'm a cop and one of my coworkers was formerly a probation officer in Florida. One day he got a call that one of his felons, who was a sex offender, had been arrested for giving a BJ to a donkey that he had tied up in a field in front of a bus full of elementary school students. How do you even explain that? I don't even think I want to put that one in the video because that's horrifying. A friend of mine was a probation officer. We were out at a bar one night after a softball game, and she abruptly said, "I need money for 2 shots. I'll tell you why in a minute." Confused but intrigued, I gave her some cash and watched as she went to the bar and ordered 2 shots. She went up to a guy I didn't know and was quite a bit older than our friend circle was. She handed him one of the shots, did the cheers salute, and took her shot. She said, "See you at my office tomorrow," and came back to our table. He just stood there staring at us for a few seconds, took his shot, and left. She fills me in that the man was on probation and had a scheduled appointment with her the next morning. Girl, bye. She was pretty confident that he would be going to jail for being caught in the bar, so she figured she would buy him his last drink. Petty. The guy showed up to probation reeking of alcohol, a multiple-time OVI offender, of course. Naturally, he got selected for a random breath test. Dude blew .293 and told me he had his last drink last night. Told me he last had a drink last night. Now, policy was that he could either have someone pick him up or he could stay until he sobered up because the jail was overcrowded. Now he starts ranting and raving about how he's going to be late to work and he doesn't have anyone to call. I tell him tough crap. I'm not letting him go alone and kill someone on my highway. Well, on the highway. Eventually, he gets desperate and calls his ex-girlfriend. And the crazy thing is she agrees to come. She shows up pee as heck, maybe pissed. I photocopy her license and hand him over to her. He tells me that he might get fired because he's going to be late. I'm not an officer, but I was on probation at the time. We're in the waiting room and some kid, maybe 18 or 19, pulled out a small one-hitter pipe. Everyone looks at him and he just takes a hit of spice in the freaking waiting room with everyone. Wait, spice? How long ago was this? Because spice, I ain't heard about spice in a minute. Not a PO, just the girl who got caught smoking pot in her dorm room and had to go to court. At my court hearing, another dude was there because he allegedly got drunk one night and shot a bullet through the wall of his apartment complex. What? Apparently, the cops confiscated a bunch of guns from this dude's apartment. Not sure if they were illegal or not. Probably weren't. From how it sounded, this kid probably shouldn't have possessed any firearms. While he was at the stand, he asked the judge if he could have the guns returned because he still had a few, and since they were part of a collection, he wanted them all together. I can't read Reddit stories and not laugh. Complete silence in the courtroom. I watched the lawyer's shoulders tense up. The judge was not impressed. She let him have it for still having guns when he should have given them all up. She told him he needed to turn in the rest of the guns or he'd be violating probation and would go to jail. He probably kicked himself so hard after that. Juvenile state probation officer checking in. What's up, juvie POs? Had a child on a trial home visit attempt, a drive-by with a stolen handgun. Needless to say, that trial home visit didn't last. Not me, but my dad's friend. He had a guy coming into the courthouse for whatever reason. When asked if he would remove whatever was in his pockets and pass through security, he pulled a crack pipe out and placed it on the conveyor belt. I've never seen anybody be a crack pipe, but I have had someone bring drug paraphernalia. Like a little pipe, you know, the little tiny ones. I probably put it on the screen, but I think they put weed in it. I don't know. If someone brought drug paraphernalia or drugs to the probation office, immediately call the police. Immediately, you don't pass go. No. Was an RA at Pr0bati0n at summer while in college. Only time I had to read legal stuff and send someone back to prison was a guy that had used all of his food stamps that was supposed to go to his wife and kid on a bunch of candy and illegal candy. Only certain types were allowed in the center, but I really don't remember what or why. So a 30-something-year-old man was crying that he was going back to prison over some candy. Hey, sometimes you need that candy. Not a probation officer, but one time I came out of my house and saw a load of torn up paper on my lawn. I tried to pick it up. I picked it up to put it in the bin and realized it was a letter and a bunch of forms sent to someone who was newly on probation, telling them when their first appointment with the probation officer was. I'm a helpful soul, so I let the probation officer know the guy had mislaid his forms with prejudice and might need some encouragement to actually turn up. Don't litter my lawn, okay? I missed my probation meeting this morning. I have never missed without calling before. I just missed my calendar entry. What do? I don't have much experience with this stuff. Okay, that's so easy. Just call them and say, I literally what you just said. I missed it. I put the wrong date in my phone in my calendar. Can I reschedule? That is simple. Don't make it too complicated. Not a probation officer, but I had a coworker who had his license revoked after multiple DUIs. He ended up driving himself to his parole hearing. They threw him in jail. Sounds about right. I had so many people I've seen so many people with suspended licenses come to probation in a car. Literally, I'm looking out the window and I can just see them driving off. Not a parole officer. They didn't get, I didn't include that as a new violation because at least you came. Like, I'm giving you a chance. At least you showed up. Not a parole officer, but a house manager for a halfway house connected to the parole office run by the state. Never ceases to amaze me how many residents, all our residents are on parole and their PO is in the building, who will threaten other people, stalk women, deal drugs, or have on their phones. It starts with a P, y'all can see it. When are these guys going to learn to delete just single messages or single websites they visit, as they are not allowed to delete all their text threads or browser history? You gotta be looking real hard. Also, when are they going to learn that sending someone threatening text messages only allows the victims to screenshot and bring it in email? Email it to the PO, for sure. I had a teenager who was on community corrections get water from the water fountain and put it in the urine cup. Water was super cold. Kid was an idiot. The way people try to finesse these drug tests, it be so funny. It be so funny because like I feel you, but I don't feel you because there's no way. You know you're not gonna get away with it. That looked cuter for some reason like that. I had a teen on probation, nothing too major, who came in for a scheduled visit. Mom said he had left the home and she could not find him for about 10 days. When the teen was questioned, he said he was at a friend's, told him I was going to have him drug tested, and if he were to be dirty, I was going to ask the judge to have him detained. Mom is in the office and teen is in the lobby waiting to be drug tested. Receptionist called stating the teen was not in the lobby. Went up front with mom to look for him. Teen decided to book it and steal mom's truck, which had her phone and belongings. Police was called and a report was made for a stolen vehicle. Next morning, get in contact with mom, who said teen was involved in a rollover accident the night prior, but he's okay. He was under the influence and charged with DUI. Mom reported to have had $5K in cash in the truck and found less than 1K. Team was looking at 3 months in rehab now. He's in way worse trouble. I wish my kid would do some shit. Not a probation officer, but my mom is pretty good at messing up her probation for no reason whatsoever. Had court on Tuesday and on Thursday. Skipped court on Tuesday, but went on Thursday. It was the same charge from 2 different counties. Ooh. So now she has a bench warrant. Got her license suspended for not paying a speeding ticket. $25 to get it reinstated, and she chooses to wait until 30 minutes before Thursday's court to do it, making her late to court. But she was trying though. Can you give her a little bit of credit? If you want someone to talk to about your specific situation, you can always reach out to me, yourfavoritepr0bati0n.com. That link will also be in the description box below. Schedule a call with me. We can go over your situation. Hey, you don't have to do this alone. And don't listen to these Reddit threads that say all type of terrible stuff, because sometimes they be exaggerating for real. But yeah, until next time, y'all stay safe. Bye.